Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your communicator, Reggie Driver, here to remind everyone that we have a meeting this Saturday, November 15th. This meeting is going to be a different meeting to some degree because this is the meeting that we're having right before negotiations begin. Negotiations begin on December 2nd. It's going to be the team that we put together and the company sitting down to discuss the terms that are going to be our next contract. And that's not just the money, even though the money does come up. Wages is the last part of the contract. So far, we've been meeting in groups on Saturdays to discuss, just going through the contract and figuring out what needs to get changed and what should stay the same. I asked you guys in multiple different videos to, text me, send me your thoughts, send me something that you think about. Sometimes people come to me and they let me know what it is. And other times I don't hear anything from anybody, and I'd rather not have to deal with the complaints afterwards. So if you could and you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comments or text me, or if you see me, or come to the meeting and just discuss it. This meeting also is going to be nominations being done because all the positions on the e-board, all the steward positions, delegates, they're all up for grabs. And from electoral perspective, that's your president, your vice president, conductive sentinel, your recording secretary, vice president, your chief shop steward, all the steward positions, delegates. That's all up right now. We also have to have a strike sanction vote. And before anybody hears the word strike and thinks that there's something that's about to be in the works, that is not the case. The idea would be for us not to go on strike. However, you have a strike sanction vote so that then the local could then continue to have the support from the IAM if it ever gets to that point. It's kind of like a preface to, let's say we go in there and they say, hey, not instead of us giving you a raise, but we'd rather like to take money off the max, take money out the top. And then here's 100 different rules that you never thought of that we are putting in and we don't want to have any type of stop or pushback from the local. If they came to you and they said something like that, not saying that that's what they're planning on doing, but if they did, you would be like, oh, nah, this is BS. We need to know from the members how many of y'all would be like, okay, well, I need to keep on going to work. Because trust me, a part of me feels like that they've been strategic about the way that they've been doing things with the lack of work and the lack of overtime. And, they can kind of turn it on and off like a faucet. It's up to them to do it. However, a tactic that if I was in their shoes, what I would do is I would do something like what they've been doing and limiting overtime and limiting the amount of work to put the perspective of, hey, we really don't have that much. So when we come to you with this offer that isn't that much, this is what you should take. You know what I mean? Like, IKEA is still $1 billion industry, whether or not they say that they need us or not. When we were in the meeting yesterday, they were saying that we were the third most golden place to be at. So, you figure that out. I'm not saying any of this is going to happen or anything like that at all, but a strike sanction vote, it just kind of puts it into the head of the company. Okay, so they have 100 members, and how many members voted and said that they'd be willing to go on strike? That's the kind of information that we can present to them as leverage, because that's what all this is leverage and posturing. That's what everything is from both sides. And the leverage that we have is our solidarity to determine how strong we are as a local. And that is brought to them by you and your feelings and the way that your demeanor is when you're in the meetings and they talk. It all is connected. All this being said, I already talked for 4 minutes right now. Please come out to the meeting. It's on Saturday at 3 p.m. I'd like to see as many people there as possible. If you were interested in trying to help out your local, come there and find out how you can. There's multiple committees that need to get put together as well, but we need to have the people in order to do these things. All right. That's all I got for today. Thank you for your time.